Good afternoon, everybody. It's Aaron Nagler here with Cheesehead TV with your extra cheese for the day. That's right. Practice has come and gone. We've heard from Brian Gutekunst, Matt LaFleur, Kenny Clark, Randall Cobb, Aaron Jones, all manner of people, and Robert Tonyan. Now it's time to hear from you fine folks. Packers had their second practice. A pretty subdued affair, as to be expected, with no pads yet. They have a number of days without pads before this hitting starts, so to speak. But I tell you where the hitting's happening. The hitting's happening at Underdog Fantasy. It's the best and easiest place to play fantasy football for big cash prizes. On Underdog Fantasy, you just draft. No need to worry about waivers, lineups, or injuries. Underdog handles that all for you. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app, draft a season-long best ball team, and that's it. No in-season management. You get free $25 in bonus cash if you use the code Cheesehead right now when you make your first deposit, and you can take your shot at $1 million grand prize in their fantasy football tournament. Check out Underdog Fantasy. Hello to everybody in the comments. Good to see you. DJ Jones, what's up? How you doing, man? Stu, more football. That's right. What's up, Aaron from Oregon? Not much, John. It's a beautiful day here in Green Bay. Always a beautiful day when training camp's happening. Patrick, thanks for the super chat. How was 12-8 thought? How was 12-8 thought? Not sure you get all the letters you wanted there, Patrick, but what are my thoughts on 12-8? I think it's exciting. I think it's going to be a very interesting year. That's for certain. I'm at Lambeau right now. Can I phone about you live? Nolan, you're more than welcome to try. If you walk out, say right there in front of the pro shop, you can probably get me. Yoshi Nijman notwithstanding. What a statement. Play Yoshi Nijman, see his vast development. Go, Pack, go. Hey, man, I just don't want Yoshi to get lost in the mix here with all these free agent signings and draftees. I still believe in Yosh. Yosh with the most, baby. Is the vaccination rate for the Packers known? It is not. Brian did say they are in what I guess he considers a good spot. I think they are well on their way. I would think my guesswork is around 80%. Everyone in the building, administration, coaches, what have you, they are all vaccinated. The players are getting there. Hey, Nags, had to be a little uncomfortable for Cobb to come in knowing that management didn't want him. I mean, maybe for a moment, but ultimately he's here. And like he said, nothing we talk about, nothing that gets written or stories get made of that angle of it is going to change anything. He's here and he wants to win a championship. And I, for one, applaud him for that sentiment. I mean, we all know why he's here. He's here because of Aaron Rodgers. There's no shame in that. I love it. Let's go. Let's let those best friends win a ring together. Get on board. I'm down with it. Was it a little uncomfortable? Probably. He said as much in his presser just now when he talked about the feeling he had not, getting a call to come back when he was hitting free agency. Yeah, that's got to be tough. No doubt about it. As Brian intimated this morning, this is a tough business. And Randall said the same thing. These are business decisions. It ain't show friends, it's show business, except when you're Aaron Rodgers. And then it's both. Oh, super chats. Super chats. Don't miss the super chats. Dylan, thanks for the super chat. Aaron Rodgers, if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. Hey, man, make it happen. That sounds like a cover waiting to happen. These are some deep questions. Who owns Cheesehead TV? Jersey Al, Corey, you, who's president, etc. I think the easiest way to answer that is to point you to the Packers After Dark we did with Tyler on the inaugural episode. It's on the YouTube channel. We talk all about the history of the site, who does what, who came aboard when, and how it's all structured. How's the new defensive scheme look? It looks pretty similar. They're doing lots of install stuff right now. So, things are every single play. They're trying to work on something, looking at a combination, coverage, front, stunts, what have you. So there's been a lot thrown at the players. There's a lot to look at. It's not going to have a real good idea of things that they're kind of game planning with, et cetera, until we get closer to the season. Matt said as much this morning. I mean, right now it's the fire hose approach. Just throwing every single concept at the guys and trying to get them to. And Kenny actually mentioned that as well in his presser, that, it is a mile a minute and just trying to absorb as much as they can. So I don't think there's much to note yet when it comes to the scheme itself. William, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to repeat my answer. The simple answer for the ownership thing is Corey and I are the co-founders, and Al is a fellow owner. Those are the three owning interests in Cheesehead TV. Is Aaron's new deal a one-year deal? We do not know. I suspect a 2-year deal, but I know Rappaport put out the tweet a little bit ago that the deal is done. The terms are finalized. It just has yet to be signed, which presumably Aaron will probably do either later today or sometime soon. But I suspect it's 2 years if the original reporting around it is correct. Motivation, what's up? Thanks for the super chat. Nags, I love you, but extend Rodgers MVP season coming. I don't understand why that needs to be two separate things. You can love me. I love me and extending Rodgers. What's wrong with that? I got no problem extending Rodgers. If he has another MVP season and Jordan Love doesn't look like the answer, no problem with that. Man, it's all love here. Get it? Nah. Michael, thanks for the super chat. Will you help me feel more upbeat about the season? Seems like only thing can happen is disaster. Man, are you living in last week? This is hope springs eternal right now. Are you kidding me? They got the quarterback back. They got his best friend. They're ready to go wreck the league. Let's go, man. Come on, Michael. No. This is training camp, man. You got to train yourself. It's going to be great. They're going to go win a Super Bowl. Now, if Aaron Rodgers wasn't here, then it's going to be a hard season to watch. But, man, none of this stuff is going to matter week one when they kick off against the Saints. Then it's game on. Then it's going to win a championship. And they'll deal with all the other stuff next offseason. Don't get caught up in all that, man. Tons of respect for what Cobb said at his presser, full of class and a well-rounded young man, plenty left in the tank. I agree, Kevin. I thought he handled everything very, very well. Brian, thanks for the super chat. Will you help me feel more upbeat about the season? Seems like the only thing that happened is a championship. I love dueling super chats. I love it. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for the support. Kylan Hill, Oz is here. Oz, I got a bone to pick with you, but I'm going to wait till the Patreon happy hour to pick it. Bone to be picked, sir. But yes, Hill looks like a natural receiver, I got to say. Couple of nice plays, both in team and drill stuff, showing off his hands. They might have something there, Oz. You weren't joking. Packers haven't been to a Super Bowl since Raji left. When does GM Rodgers bring him back? Great question. Don't know the answer. Best place to buy a jersey? The Packers Pro Shop. Look, that's perfect. Do unvaccinated fans have to wear masks at practices? Yes, but they're not allowed into practice if they're unvaccinated. I think that's how it works. You have to make some kind of you have to write something, I think, to get in, like some kind of promise that you are vaccinated. I don't know how it works. I don't have to deal with it, and I'm glad. Roberto, thanks for the super chat. After Brian contract is up with Green Bay as GM, is there a chance that A-Rod possibly gets the role? No. Goody's response was very interesting, that there are rarely ever any exemptions to getting rid of a guy 1 year too early than one too late. And I agree with him, Ben, 100%. Yeah, I thought that was a telling answer, and I think he's spot on. I think that's what Spoon was alluding to when he asked Aaron about, it's great that you want to keep all these guys around, but most of them you would have been wrong about. I think it's an age-old adage for a reason, because more often than not, it's correct. Hey, remember Bao Zhu, random Packer of the day? Man, Bao Zhu, what a player. Wow, people pay to ask some stupid stuff. Timothy, let people use their money how they want. They want to support the website and the channel and the Cheesehead TV brand. And we appreciate each and every one of them, no matter if they're pontificating Shakespearean language about the depth of pass rush ability of a certain player, or they just want to make fun of me. I don't care. We appreciate the support regardless. Did I fall for Dennis's Bakhtiari prank? 1 billion%. I was down at the other end when the offensive lineman came out, so I didn't see it at first. And then I was walking across. Usually we can stand where the Hudson Center is, where it juts out. But now, because of COVID rules, blah, 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 we have to walk through. We're not allowed to stop. and I was walking by the offensive line group, and I saw him wearing Bakhtiari's jersey. I absolutely thought it was Bakhtiari. I was like, oh, he's out. He's back. He's participating. And I got to the other side. I was like, Andy Herman's the one who told me. He's like, I was like, yeah, I saw Bakhtiari over there. He's like, yeah, that's not Bakhtiari. I said, what? So Kelly's certainly got a bit of a sense of humor there. Is Dennis Kelly expected to start at right tackle now? No, I think he's mostly there for depth, especially a guy as a swing tackle. I would suspect Turner will still get the start at right tackle, but we'll see. We'll see how camp transpires. Popeye's Beef, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Was there any philosophy bending to make QB happy when Freeman returned back in 2003? I don't think it was quite that clear cut. It was familiarity, sure, absolutely, but I don't think it was about that. Pretty different situation. Patrick, thought. Thanks, buddy. Overshadow Sean, stupid stuff, and Pappies. I see. Trying to get that Pappies fund going. Trying to get that Pappies fund finished off. I mean, we got to be there by now. Someone needs to start bugging the hell out of Banky to buy me Pappies because we've clearly passed that threshold. DeGuara could have a very impactful role in this offense and a big upside back before week 1, maybe. We'll see. I tell you what, he looks phenomenal in the work he's doing off to the side. He looks really, really good. Herman is always on top of things. Yeah, except Andy got fooled by it too. Everyone did. Literally everybody. It was great. How did 49ers know to call about Rodgers if he didn't say anything? I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I take him at his word that he wouldn't have said anything, but I mean, a lot of people were calling about Rodgers. 49ers called about Rodgers. After what he said was at the podium after the NFC Championship game, making it very clear that he was rather unhappy and his future was uncertain. At that point, if you're another team and a GM and you think maybe there's a chance, you make the call. I don't think there's any mystery there. But yeah, I don't think Rodgers tipped anybody off or told anybody to come get me or anything like that. Marco Day, thanks for the super chat. Another live nags for me. Unbelievable. Go Pack. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for the super chat. Jeffrey just tweeted, Rodgers just signed the deal. Well, he would know, wouldn't he? What's Goody's definition of highest paid wide receiver and how it's different than 17s? I think, Kevin, I think it's all obviously centered around Hopkins' deal. How they maneuver that, I have no idea. But there's time to go. Do you think 12 press conferences will discuss cuts, ads, releases? No. Guys, he doesn't want to be GM. He doesn't want final say. He said that himself yesterday. He just wants to be consulted or talked to, maybe allowed to pontificate when moves are made that affect his job. Those are his words. His job, i.e. playing quarterback. Something he would have liked last year is a true slot receiver, i.e. Randall Cobb. They said they've been talking about that since February. He doesn't want to scour the waiver wire. He doesn't want to pull trades for offensive tackles. He just wants to be in the conversation every once in a while. Did Banky ever send out that social media message that he was working on for 15 minutes? He did. He did. If you look at his feed from last night on Twitter, he put it on Insta too. It was some free swag, some free bourbon we got from Central Standard. Go Pack Go. Thanks for the super chat. With Corn on the Cobb back, what do you think the final receiver list will be for the 53-man roster? Can we let camp play out just a little bit? I mean, EQ's had a good start to camp. Winfrey just had a huge play today and looks really good. I mean, if either of those guys start balling out on special teams, they make things interesting, right? But I could see both of them easily cut as well. Maybe Winfrey get back on the practice squad. I mean, it's gonna be a tough situation for some of these guys, no doubt about it. I think Adams, Lazard, MVS, those are your three, and Cobb, of course, now, and Rodgers, Amari. That's 5. Past that, it's gonna be difficult. EQ, Funchess, Winfrey, all these guys are fighting. Hell, Bailey Gaither had a great play today. So it's gonna be tough times. How did Dylan look today? I tell you what, smooth as hell catching the football. He had a really nice play out in the flat on the left side. Rodgers was looking deep, didn't like it, turns and finds him late. AJ did a great job catching away from his body and then bringing it in, not breaking stride, getting a nice gainer out of it. because coverage was deep in zone, so free yardage. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones mentioned to us just a little bit ago that AJ has been working on his receiving skills throughout the offseason. Certainly showed on that play. How has Funchess looked? Good, Andrew. Really good. Explosive. He's got some long-ass legs. Holy cow. But he had a really nice play with Jordan Love. One particular, I think, I'm almost positive it was the same concept that the Packers used against the Bears in 2019 in Lambeau late. It was a December game where Rodgers went back and it's play action. And he turns his back to the thing, and then he finds Devontae on like a quick, I mean, not quick, it's a pretty long developing slant. Looked like the exact same kind of concept and route. And Funchess he looks so smooth. Didn't break stride. Great throw from Love. He's had a number of those so far. Not big plays, but, chain movers, which is, what he is. He's a chain mover. How does a slim down Kenny fit into the D with Slayton? It's going to be exciting to find out. We talked to Kenny today, and he talked about how he's been moving around a lot. That's the idea, both in OTAs in the offseason and the first couple days in camp. I asked him about, wanting to maybe possibly, hopefully get a few more one-on-ones to rush the passer. We talked to Corey Lindsley on his way out right here on Cheesehead TV, and he said, by far and away, the toughest guy to block in the NFL is Kenny Clark. And he said, I know people are going to say he's just my teammate, whatever, but there's not a harder guy to block one-on-one in this league that I have encountered than Kenny Clark. That makes me so excited because it's just so rare that Kenny gets a one-on-one. Teams have always known they got to double him. Most of the pass protection sets start, you work inside out. Teams know where he is at all times, and he's very rarely been able to move off of that spot. So the idea of getting him moved around, I really like. And hopefully he gets to take on a guard every once in a while and just wreck some shop, because I think if he can stay healthy, that's exactly what he's going to do. Let's see what we got here. Got that one. Oh, Bo, thanks for the super chat. How does Love compare to Rodgers when Rodgers was on the bench behind Favre? Year 2, I think he looks a little better, actually, than where Rodgers was in year 2. You got to remember, though, they're running very different offenses. There's a lot of clearly delineated stuff, short reads. They're just asking him to hit the guy who's open, if it's really delineated and you've got 2 high and a guy low and that's high stuff is taken away, yeah, just hit the guy low. And I think he's doing a real good job of that. Whereas with Aaron, he was learning McCarthy's offense, which is, designed, quote unquote, to make the quarterback successful. But I think it's a little bit tougher on the QB because of all the isolation routes. You've got to pick a side, basically. And this is how Aaron described it a couple years ago. You got to pick a side and hope the guy you've chosen wins. And if he doesn't, well, then you're coming backside. And by then, protection can break down, or maybe there's been some kind of physical play on the back end with a corner taking out your wide receiver, etc. Matt's system has a lot more like rubs and natural picks and things to get guys open. So, I think Jordan looks a lot more comfortable. I noted that today on Twitter that he is throwing a lot more in rhythm, even through these first 2 days, than he did last summer. There's zero doubt that there's been development there. But he also had a pick, he had a bad throw across the middle where Kylan Hill is crossing shallow, and he just puts it out too far ahead of him and a little high, and it just sailed, and went right to Ty Summers for the pick. So he's a young QB. He's going to struggle. But, yeah, the development from last year is noticeable. There's no doubt about it. Okay, got that one. All right, very good, very good. Kyle, thanks for the super chat. Does adding Cobb make it harder for Jace or a 4th tight end to make the roster? I actually think Jace is in a pretty good spot in the sense of he's a free roster spot for those first 2 weeks. So they'll utilize him. He was running with the 3s today and a little bit of the 2s and 1s, but mostly he was with the backups because, obviously they want to get everybody worked into the offense. And but, with a suspension those first 2 weeks, yeah, that's a free roster spot. They don't have to do anything with him. So I suspect he probably will make the 53 just because he's suspended for those first 2 weeks and he doesn't count against their roster. But to your bigger point, a 4th tight end, yeah, that could affect things. Absolutely. No question about it. How have the players reacted to Joe Barry's system? It's early, but it seems really good in the sense of they they keep all mentioning to a man how similar a lot of the concepts are. It's just about terminology. So, again, you're not going to really get a feel for the system or the scheme much, if at all, until they start game planning stuff. And that'll come obviously later in the process here. They're still very much installing stuff. Have the players reacted? Oh, I did that one. How does Preston look? Keep hearing he came into camp out of shape last year. Preston looks good. Looks big. Looks lean. But it's hard to say much of anything on that side of the ball because they're not allowed to hit anybody. Not allowed to tackle. But so far, so good. He definitely doesn't look out of shape or overweight or anything like that. How is Amari looking? Jeff, I led my camp notes with this. I know it's been 2 days. They don't have pads on. None of this means much of anything right now, but he's a player. I don't care. His athleticism jumps off the field. He's already being utilized in a lot of the same stuff that Tyler Ervin was. I think they're going to expand that. Yeah, he's electric. I think he's going to be really exciting. Again, he's got to keep getting better every day, but man, I think they got a player there. All right, everybody, I'm gonna have to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day. Hey, we all want to look stylish year round, right? Well, I got just the thing for you. Check out this awesome Acme Packers hoodie. VINFL.com is where you want to go, and you want to use code Cheesehead TV. That's code Cheesehead TV to get 15% off. Look so damn cool in that hoodie. Check it out.
You know who doesn't want to be stylish?
Oh, who's that, Corey Benke?
Mark Murphy.
Well, that is true. Mark Murphy does not want to look stylish, as we all saw in pictures at practice today. Thank you so much. Please hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Pack, go.